Katha Upanisad, Part 1, Chapter 1. Aumusanhava jasravasa sarva vedasam dada utasya hanacheketa nama putrasa. In the line of the ancient sage Vajrasrava, and wanting corresponding rewards, all he possessed was to be given away of him named Nachiketa, his son. There was the Visvajit sacrifice is when you give up everything that's yours. So one's children in that culture were considered as possessions. Tamha kumaram santam dakshinasu niyamanasu sraddha vivasa sumanyata. The gifts being offered. The son was young and had faith and entered, and he pondered. Faith doesn't mean you don't consider the situation. Petodaka jagdadrana dugdadoha nirindriyah ananda namatelokastan sagachate tadadat. Having finished drinking water and eating grass and not able to yield more milk, without organs, that it can breed with, right? Such was what he gave. To those worlds, he goes as cheerless. And yeah, when you have this idea that you're going to do too much as extra, then, this sort of stuff creeps in. Sahuvacha pitaram tata kasmaimam dasyasite dvitiyam tertiyam tamhuvacha martyavetva. He said to his father, "Father, to whom will you give?" A second time. A third time to him, saying this, "You to death I'll give." Well, it's possible that he didn't want to give over his son either, because he wasn't giving over everything. He was only giving the lower quality of stuff anyways. The only thing that you could do with an old cow like that was to kill it and eat it before it just died on its own. But of course, animal sacrifice was a requirement according to some of these traditions for meat eating. Bahunamemme prathamo bahunamemme madhyamah kim svedyamasya kartavyam yanmayadhyakarishyate. I'm first among many. I'm second among many. What service does death need that I can do for him? And even the best of people can tend to admit that they are not the utmost in everything, but they outdo a lot of people in a lot of things. So that's basically what he was saying. Anupasya yatha parve pratipasya tatha pare sasyamiva martyah pachyate sasyamiva jayate punah. The ancestors, how were they? Consider and study also your contemporaries. Compare and observe how the mortal withers away like food grain and is born like grain crops. Vaisvanarah pravisatyatithir brahmano garhan tasyatam santim kurvante hara vaivasvatodakam. When a priest comes as a guest, it's as if fire has entered the house. He's pleased if what is prescribed is presented. O son of the sun, fetch him water. Well, it's important to know the difference between what is actually prescribed and what the people there are asking for. Now, the people collecting alms and that sort of thing shouldn't require of the best, but it's good if you're going to give something to give of the best. Asa pratiksha samgatam sunratam chasta purte putra pasumscha sarvanetan vernkate purushas yalpamedaso yasyanasnan vasate brahmano garhe. A priestly guest that goes without in one's home of a foolish person, the hopes and expectations as a result of good company, the results of good speech, the results of sacrifices and gifts. One of the examples of gifts is a well. All these, that's destroyed. Tesro ratri ryadavatsirhe manasnan brahmanatethir namasyah namastestu brahman svaste mestu tasmat pratetrin varan varnishva. A religious specialist as a guest because you're venerable, because you stayed 3 nights in my house without eating. The staying, therefore, to you is as my salutations, may I prosper, for each, and acts 3 boons. Santasam kalpah sumana yatasyad vitaman yurga utamo mabe mertyo tavad prasrashtam ma bivadet pratita et tat trayanam prathamam varam varne. death, my Father, make him free from worry, cheerful towards me, well disposed, and that can readily recognize when sent back, talk to me as usual of the three, and this is the first boon I wish to have. Yatha purastad bhavita pratita audala kirarunirmat prasrashtah sukham ratri sayeta vitamanyu stavam darasevan mukhat pramuktam. Son of Udalaka, son of Aruna, as before, as affectionate as he was, going back in my instance from the clutches of death, released when he sees you back, he'll be free from anger, and will remain, and will sleep well at night. Svargalokena bayam kim chanaste na tatratavam na jaraya bibete ubetirtava sanaya pepase sokatego modate svargaloke. In heaven, there's no fear. There, you have no fear from old age either, overcoming hunger and thirst, beyond sorrow. In heaven, enjoys himself. Satavam agnim svargyam adyashe markyo prambruhe tavam srandadanaya mahyam svargaloka amratatvam bhajanta atad dvityana varne varena. The way to heaven is the fire that you know about, possessing faith. So it's not just outer ritual and doing things over, by, or to the fire. You gotta have faith too. Explain to me, please, those who are in heaven, how they enjoy this. Is my second boon I pray for. Prate bravime taru mene Buddha svargyam agnim nacheketah prajanan anantalukaptimatho pratishtam vidde tavametam nehitam guhayam. O Nachiketa, I know well that the fire offerings lead to heaven. I'll explain to you, listen to me attentively, and try to understand this means of attaining heaven. The support of the universe that's hidden in the caves. And the cave is, of course, what you've held into yourself. That's why you need to memorize. You need to direct your thoughts and your feelings and all that towards the divine service. You just don't let them flow through you. You work on that. Lukadim magnim tamu vacha tasmaya ishtaka yavatirva yathavasa chape tat pratyavadanyathokta mathasya mrityu punarevaha tushta. To him, this world's beginning, that about fire is explained, the kind of, how many bricks, and the matter. And he also was the same as spoken and repeated. Then death at this was pleased further and said. It does make a difference what arrangement things are set up as for rituals. Tama bravit priyamano mahatma varam tave hadya dadame bhuyah tavaeva namna bhavita yamagnih sarnkam chemamane karupam grahana. Delight at this, the greater than the field of consciousness, is him that said this now to you. Again, another boon I'm giving. This fire, by your name, it will become also many-shaped and variegated, the chain necklace except. So the ritual would be known by him, just like in Mecca you have the standing place of Abraham, and you have other symbols known by Trinacheketas Tribiretya Sandim Trikarmakrt Tarate Janmam Ratyu Brahma Jajnam Devamidyam Viditva Nichayamam Sandhimatyantamete. With 3, in close contact, having obtained and studied, has performed the Nachiketa sacrifice thrice, and practices 3 things. The birth and death, they cross over. So you have from your parents, mother and father, and then teacher, which makes more sense to people when you say the 3 stages of life are in that respect, because you say child, it's like, wait, isn't that where you start? Because then you have to explain this, well, you have to do well with the first stage to get to the second stage and have the second stage properly, so you can't just skip to the child stage. Trinachiketastrayameta dviditva yaevam vidvam chenote nachiketam samartyupasan puratah pranudya sukatego mudate Svargaloke. He has mentioned earlier the 3 things, knowed and served, are offered up the Nachiketas fire thrice. In this way, knowing the fire instills worship, and he, with the bonds arising from ignorance, even before death, shakes them off, infatata, as they say in Arabic, and goes beyond the mental agony in the heaven and rejoices. So the identity becomes only that which is connected to this worship. Ashate gnirna chekata svargyo yamavernitha devetiana varena etamagnim tavaiva pravakshante janasa sturtiyam varam nachekato vernishva. O Nachiketa, that as your second boon that you ask for, to you this sacrifice leads to heaven, at least as metanomial, right? But they do talk about it like it's more physical. People, this fire by your name will call it, O Nachiketa. And as for the third boon you ask for, Yeyam Prate Vichikitsa Manushya Stityake Nayamastite Chaeke Etan Vidyamanus Ishtastvaya Ham Varanamesha Varastratiya. When a person dies, here's the common debate of some of what lingers, and others say that this doesn't continue by you, is the instruction for me to know this of the boons, and this is the third boon. Devairatrapivichikitsitam puranahe suvijnayamanurasha dharma anyam varam nachikato vernishva mamuparotsirate Masrajainam. On this subject, even the shining ones have had their doubts in the past. Well, the light beings only have the knowledge and the power that they have been given, so if they don't know or understand something, it's because the nature of this self is a subtle order and of religion, and it's not easy to understand. O Nachiketa, ask for some other boon, and don't press me. Release me from this. Spare me this question. And as we've seen earlier, this entity over death got the power and message from elsewhere, so ultimate divinity is supposed to be where this comes through. Davairat vichikitsitam kilatavam cha marjoyana sujnayamatha vakta chasya tvanranganyo nalabyo nanyo varastuya atasya kaschit. By the shining ones in this matter, even as they doubted indeed you and death, because of not well understanding this, are saying to the teacher and of this regarding, no one like you is to be found, not any other. The boon is equal of this, or to this, whatsoever. And so Nachiketa is talking to death as the ultimate teacher. Satayusha putra pautran vernishva bahun pasun haste hiranyamasvan bhumer mahadayatanam vernishva svayam cha jiva sarado yavadachase. Living as long as 100 years with sons and grandsons. Choose many heads of cattle, elephants, gold, horses. In the earth, in the empire, choose yourself and live as long as you wish. Etatuliyam yademanyase varam vernishva vitam chirajivekam chamaha bhumau nachekatastavamede kamanam tavakama bhajam karume. This is equal to, if you think, the boon you choose, and a long life, an emperor, you'll be the covetable objects. You'll be fit to enjoy what you make. Ya kamadurlabha martyaluke sarvan kamam chandata kamam chandata prarthayasva imaramah saratha satuya nahidursa lambaniya manusyai abirmad pratabeh paricharyasva nachekato maranam manuprakshi. And one notices that those two words I try to repeat, between Sarvan and Imma. Whatsoever object of desire that's difficult to get in the mortal world, all these desires or objects of desires as desired, acts for these. Fair girls, or do they mean young women, with chariots, playing musical instruments, not indeed like these to be got by mortals, by these, given by me, to be served by them. O Nachiketa, death. Don't ask. Okay, so don't ask about death, basically. Yeah, I don't like to refer to anybody who has hit puberty as a girl. So this, and there's confusion to what's meant. But basically, access to females is what he's saying. Hopefully it's, Svobhavam martyasya yadantakaetat sarvendriyanam chariyante tejah ape sarvam jivitam alpameva tava eva vahastava nirtyagite. Tomorrow isn't lasting for the mortal. All these, O Ender, all the senses are exhausted. The vigor also, all of the life is short, even yours, even your dancing and singing. So, what's the saying? Even death must die. And in compared to existence of even humanity, 100 years is still, kind of short. there's sayings elsewhere about how, you don't have success if you just live a long life. So no one knows for certain how long they're going to last, is one of the ways to translate one of the words we just went over. Navetanna tarpaniyo manusyo lapsyamahe vitamadrakshma chatva jivishyamu yavarisishyaste tvam varastume varaniyah saeva. Not by wealth, the satisfaction of people. We will get wealth when we've seen since you. We shall live so long as you're in power, and your boon only to me is desirable, that truly. So he's well aware of the limited satisfactions. Ajiryatamamratanamupatya jiryanmartya kvadah sathah prajanan abedyayan varnarate pramoda nate dirga jivete ko rameta. Of this earth, under heaven, there's a suffering from decay and being subject to death. There's the never decaying immortals, having come into contact with what they've realized, pleasures arising from the physical beauty. They've contemplated the long life. So who will enjoy? Yasminiram vichikit sante murtyo yat samparaye mahate bruhe nastat yoyambaro gudamanu pravishto nanyam tasmanachiketa vernita. O death, about the question that this is, that debate, and that great otherworld to us explain the specific boon which relates to the self. It's the comment, the hidden secret that's unraveled with great difficulty, except that any other Nachiketa does not ask for. Ete Katha Upanisad Prathamadhyaya Prathama Vali. And so the Katha Upanishad finds the end of the first chapter, of the first part,